What's going on, folks? I bet you didn't expect to see a video with a changelog update at 9 p.m. on a Sunday night Pacific time, where Wizards of the Coast and the D&D Beyond team have basically, I'll read you the article, walked all of those issues back, and guess what? You are going to get to play the game the way you want to play it. No issues, really. And I think, one, people made a stink about it, complained about it, and got things walked back. So really, I want to also point out just a little bit, what a world of difference from January of last year, where we sat in a week of terrified silence during the OGL. And not only have we gotten a changelog, we've gotten a clarification on a forum post, and an ultimate follow-up changelog update. These are happening, by the way, over the weekend, some of these, and they agree that we should be able to play the game we want to play. So let's go ahead and take a look at this article right here. Last week, we released a changelog detailing how players would experience the 2024 core rulebooks on D&D Beyond. We heard your feedback loud and clear, and thank you for speaking up. Our excitement around the 2024 core rulebooks led us to view these planned updates as welcome improvements and free upgrades to existing content. We misjudge the impact of this change, and we do agree that you should be free to choose your own way to play. Taking your feedback to heart, here's what we're going to do. Players who only have access to the 2014 Player's Handbook will maintain their character options, spells, and magic items in their character sheets. Great, you got that? You get to keep it. Players with access to 2024 and 2014 can select from both sources when creating new characters. That's what we wanted. Players will not need to rely on a homebrew to use their 2014 player options, including spells and magic items, as recommended in previous changelogs. Let's fucking go. Problem solved, really, in my opinion. Should we have had to make these arguments to get there? Probably not, no. But we did. People made their opinions very well known. And like I said, in a drastic change, maybe I didn't say, maybe that was in a previously recorded video, but in a drastic change from January of last year, we've gotten multiple feedback and updates, and WotC's listening. Again, shouldn't have been in that place in the first place, but this is the outcome we wanted, and we got it. Please note, players will continue to have access to their free, shared, and purchased items on D&D Beyond with the ability to use previously acquired player options when creating characters and using the character sheets. We are not changing players' current character sheets except for relabeling and renaming, and this I think is reasonable. Examples including races to species, inspiration to heroic inspiration, and cast spell to magic. Right, because it's the magic action. Makes sense. We're dedicated to making D&D Beyond the ultimate digital toolset for D&D, continuously enhancing the platform to ensure that you can create, customize, and play your game just as you envision it. From your first one-shot to multi-year campaigns and everything in between, we're grateful to be on this journey with you, the D&D studio. I mean, that's it, right? That was the biggest issue. People were losing their mind. I'm quitting this game. I'm going somewhere else. Everything sucks. And in a very surprise move, they walked it all back. You guys don't know this because I didn't release it because I was trying to get the intro bit right. And I always do my videos in one take. So I was trying to record my spell update video to kind of walk you through what the changes were. And I spent all that time building that spreadsheet. And I said, I don't know, for all I know, I'm going to put this video out and it'll all be a moot point because they walk it all back. And I had said in that video, I don't know how long what the dev time is going to be to release a legacy version of both of these. And I was like, it probably isn't going to be doable in a week since they're supposed to launch next Tuesday. Well, just totally flat out wrong. I mean, like, again, it's a corporation. You never know how these things are going to go. And technically, this is another, if anything, what I want you to take away from this whole scenario is that a license is a license to content. It's not ownership, right? That's the biggest thing that happens in the world of a digital medium, right? Many of you know this when you bought into a streaming service, right? You thought you were going to be able to watch your favorite shows, but that streaming service loses access to it. And now that show that you used to watch on Netflix or Hulu or whatever it is isn't available anymore. The only way you truly own something is if you own it. You go buy the show. If you love a show, a television show, a movie, go buy the DVD or the Blu-ray of it. That's the only way you're going to guarantee you can watch it, or somehow find a way to download it and put it on a flash drive or something like that, right? You want to own the book. You want to make sure they can't take it away. Buy the physical book. That's the only way you'll guarantee you have access to it. So that's probably my biggest takeaway from this. And ultimately, right, everybody was talking about how it's not backwards compatible. It's not. Well, the game itself is as backwards compatible as they've told us it would be, right? With the playing with a 2014 subclass and a 2024 base class and all of the stuff that they've discussed. That appears to be the case. It wasn't going to be the case in some instances with D&D Beyond by force changing you over to the 2024 spells. But they've walked that back, so now you have the option. And again, I may still release that video kind of going over the changes anyway, just to spell it out for everybody. But the big thing that my takeaway after going through and reviewing every single spell in the new player's handbook, I'd say probably about 85 or so % of those spells, I actually prefer the newer version of the spell to the original version. Whether it was clarifications on rules that didn't make sense, general just buffing the damage, right? If you ever looked at a spell in the 2014 books and you're like, how is a 7th level spell, this one, 12d6 damage, and a comparable spell of the same thing over here, also a 7th level spell, is only 8d6 damage. And they're like, well, why don't we just bring that one up parity-wise to have the damage make sense? And that's a lot of the changes. So I actually prefer a lot of the 2024 spells, and I wouldn't be surprised, and they kind of alluded to it in this article, they probably, again, not the way to go about it as we've learned, but my assumption would be, and this is just an assumption, why wouldn't they want the newer spells? They're better. Obviously, in some instances, Counterspell, we all know, is one we don't love, or a lot of people don't love. Several of you have actually commented that you do prefer the new version of Counterspell. But I'm guessing that was the mentality. This is newer, these are better, they're more balanced, whatever it might be. Why wouldn't they want that? And the answer is, people might actually prefer that. But what they didn't like was the taking away their choice. If they wanted to use the old stuff, you were removing the choice of that to some degree. Again, as we've discussed in previous videos, you weren't losing access to the content. It was still on the site, but you and me and many others, their favorite part about D&D Beyond is the character builder. And if you were removing access to those things from the character builder, you basically, for all intents and purposes to them, removed it from D&D Beyond. But hey, what a great thing to have on a Sunday evening. We got what we wanted. We won. Yeah, should we have to have these back and forth? No, we shouldn't. I feel like we've done these a bunch. But hey, look at where we've come in a year. We're getting communication, clarification on communications, and ultimately, we win, right? Everybody wins. We got what we wanted. You want to use all 2024? You got it. You want to use all 2014? You got that too. You want to do a hybrid? Seems like you'll be okay as well. So, anyway, folks, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.